Recently, the Feast of Tabernacles, a spiritual preparation for the Messiah's arrival and construction of a third temple, has happened. So, what does this signify? Are we near the fulfillment of another biblical prophecy? Let's find out in this video. According to religious teachings and predictions from the Bible, reenacting the festival of the temple and rebuilding the third temple are seen as signs of the coming Messiah and the approach of the end times. Recently, this significant event took place in Jerusalem, suggesting that the awaited reconstruction of the third temple is in progress. This reenactment isn't just a historical recreation. It's a powerful symbol of faith and continuity. It represents a revival of ancient practices from the time of the temple, connecting the past to the present and offering hope for the future. A key part of this reenactment is rebuilding the third temple, which goes beyond constructing a physical building. It's about restoring a spiritual and cultural legacy. At the heart of this revival is the water libation ceremony, a plea for blessings and a prayer for a renewed connection with the divine. This reenactment reflects a deep belief that this restoration is a promise, one that foretells a brighter, unified future. The concept of the Messiah's return holds profound significance in various religious traditions, especially in Christianity and the Abrahamic faiths. In Christian doctrine, Jesus Christ is the awaited Messiah who will return to redeem the world. His second coming is a momentous event for Christians, rooted in biblical teachings found in the New Testament. This return marks Jesus' triumphant appearance on earth in a glorified form, fulfilling prophecies from the books of Matthew, Mark, and Luke. The second coming is often associated with other prophesied events, such as the resurrection of the dead, final judgment, and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. This kingdom is envisioned as a time of unparalleled peace, justice, and righteousness, fulfilling ancient prophecies. The belief in the second coming provides comfort and strength to the faithful, assuring them that sin and evil will be vanquished. Different interpretations exist regarding the specifics of Jesus' return. Some expect a visible physical reappearance, while others embrace a more symbolic or metaphorical understanding, emphasizing spiritual transformation. The awaited Messiah in Jewish belief. In Jewish eschatology, the Messiah represents a central belief, distinct from the Christian concept of the second coming. Jews anticipate a Messianic figure, a Davidic descendant, leading them into a Messianic era. The Babylonian Talmud discusses these ideas, suggesting the world will last 6,000 years, with the final 2,000 as the Messianic era. Signs of the Messiah's arrival include social disorder, apostasy, and economic hardship. However, the Messiah's coming is linked to the redemption of the Jewish people and God's promises, with a shared goal of rebuilding the third temple in both Jewish and Christian eschatology. The third temple signifies the earthly dwelling place of God's presence and a time of Jewish unity, envisioned as an age of harmony with divine presence among humanity. Discussions in the Talmud debate whether the temple's construction will result from human effort or divine intervention, with some believing that God will build the third temple. Moreover, many Christians, especially those with fundamentalist beliefs, view the construction of the third temple as a crucial event signaling the end times. They base this belief on passages in the New Testament, like 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 4 and Revelation chapter 11 verse 1, which mention a temple. This third temple symbolizes the return of Jesus Christ and offers a path to reconciliation with God. It signifies redemption and spiritual renewal for believers. These interpretations highlight the complex nature of Messianic expectations and the temple's importance in Jewish theology. Historic significance of Feast of Tabernacles. Furthermore, it's essential to understand the Festival of Tabernacles, Succo, and its historical significance. In ancient times, during the existence of the previous two temples, Succo was a significant event. This tradition has a rich history, often known as the Feast of Tabernacles or Booths. It stands as one of Judaism's major pilgrimage festivals, alongside Passover and Shavuot. During Sukkot, Israelites were commanded to journey to the temple in Jerusalem. The holiday spanned 7 days, with the first day observed as a Sabbath-like occasion, prohibiting work. The intermediate days, known as Chol HaMoed, followed, and the seventh day, Hoshana Rabbah, marked the conclusion of the season of divine judgment for the new year. Sukkot commemorated the 40 years when the children of Israel wandered in the desert, dwelling in temporary shelters. The festival usually falls between late September and late October. 1 Kings 8 plays a pivotal role in recounting Israel's monarchical history and the temple's dedication in Jerusalem. The gathering during Sukkot fulfills the pilgrimage commandment and symbolizes the temple's significance in Jewish religious life. After the Babylonian captivity, when Cyrus II of Persia allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem for temple reconstruction, Ezra's book chronicles the return and the rebuilding process. Chapter 3 of Ezra records the returning exiles' celebration of the Festival of Tabernacles as prescribed. This celebration signifies the reinstatement of religious practices and a resurgence of faith observance after years of exile. One significant ritual during Sukkot in the temple was the water libation ceremony. This symbolic act involved pouring water onto the temple's altar as a gesture of gratitude and a plea for rain in the upcoming year. Water holds a universal purifying essence across cultures and religions, and in Judaism, purity was a prerequisite for participating in various religious activities, including temple services. The water libation ceremony was a significant part of Sukkot traditions and highlighted the spiritual depth of the festival. In various cultures and religions, pouring water represents the outpouring of divine blessings and signifies spiritual renewal and the fulfillment of promises. The water libation ceremony carried Messianic expectations due to its association with prophecy and its role in purification and spiritual sustenance. This ritual underscored the importance of water in Jewish rituals and the deep spiritual significance of Sukkot. Reenacting the water libation ceremony. Historical records reveal several events that occurred the day after the water libation ceremony. It's worth noting that the water libation isn't a one-time event, but takes place each morning throughout Sukkot. This requires a cycle of preparation, as priests draw fresh water from the Shiloh spring to ensure a steady supply for the day's sacred service. Religious observances during Sukkot continue with additional offerings, known as Musaf offerings, the recitation of Hallel, a special collection of psalms filled with praise, and a procession around the altar where priests carry the lulav and etrog, 4 specific plant species mentioned in Leviticus. Chapter 23, verse 40, specifically for use during Sukkot. These rituals symbolize the festival's spiritual depth and communal spirit. In Jewish belief, water is intricately linked to salvation and holds deep spiritual meaning. The prophet Isaiah beautifully captures this connection by stating, "With joy, you will draw water from the wells of salvation." Isaiah chapter 12, verse 3. Symbolically, water represents life, purification, and divine blessings in Jewish thought. During the water libation ceremony, pouring water onto the altar becomes a powerful expression of gratitude for God's life-giving gift of water and a fervent prayer for continued blessings. It also symbolizes the outpouring of God's Spirit, as referenced in passages like Isaiah chapter 44, verse 3, and Joel chapter 2, verses 28 and 29. Significance of rebuilding the Third Temple. The water libation ceremony holds immense importance for groups advocating the reconstruction of the Third Temple. This event symbolizes a crucial step towards restoring the complete temple service, believed to signal the arrival of Messianic redemption. The Temple Institute, led by Rabbi Yisrael Ariel and esteemed rabbis, passionately reenacts this ancient ceremony in Jerusalem's Old City. Participants, dressed in biblical priestly garments, draw water from the Shiloh pool and recreate the ritual near the Western Wall. This symbolizes their deep longing for the temple's glorious return. The rebuilding of the Third Temple goes beyond its physical structure. It signifies the revival of ancient religious practices and associated rituals. The water libation ceremony plays a pivotal role in this spiritual and cultural resurgence, emphasizing continuity and faith in divine providence. This reinstatement connects the present with historical traditions, shaping the community's religious and cultural identity. The verse from Isaiah, "With joy, you will draw water from the wells of salvation," is linked to the water-drawing ceremony during Sukkot, signifying the anticipation of the Messiah's arrival. Some Jews, particularly of Orthodox descent, believe that the water libation ceremony will significantly contribute to the spiritual and symbolic restoration of Jewish worship in the Third Temple. Christians, in turn, interpret the Third Temple as a symbol of the spiritual awakening of God's children. Much like the water libation ceremony in Jewish tradition, Christians can spiritually prepare for the second coming of Christ by consecrating and purifying their bodies, considered God's temples. This aligns with the anticipation of fulfilling the gospel and heralding a brighter, more unified future. So what do you think of the latest water libation ceremony? Is this taking us closer to the end times? Comment below and subscribe for more.